Hi everyone, and welcome back to OpenTTD with me, Tommy P. Today's going to be a bit of a different type of episode. I'm not actually going to be playing or building anything today. I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on the next phase of our cargo network expansion. I mentioned in the last episode that I wanted to go after this cargo type, which is vehicles, and from what I remembered, it was quite a complicated industry chain to get this cargo produced. I've been delving deeply into the archives, looking at all the information at hand, and the scale of the problem is much worse than what I initially anticipated. And I just wanted to use today's video just to give you a bit of an idea of how big the challenge is in order to get vehicles produced. So in the industry chain menu here, I've obviously got vehicles up. There are two ways of producing vehicles, either from an assembly plant or from a machine shop. And with those vehicles, you transport those either to a vehicle dealer, or you can actually send them to engineering supplies depots or farm supplies depots to boost production of those supplies, which obviously, as you all know by now, to go and help to produce engineering supplies which boost primary industries. So I'm only going to be looking at this assembly plant route. I'm not going to attempt to try and get vehicles from both chains, and I'm just going to start flicking through some of these chains just so you can appreciate what's going to be coming up. So from the assembly plant chain, you need to get parts and vehicle bodies into that assembly plant industry. And what I do want to do to make it more of a challenge, rather than just delivering say parts from maybe just one of these types of industries, I want to deliver them from all. Because when you look at the parts and where they come from, so electrical workshop, plastics plant, glassworks, textile mill, tyre plant and foundry, these are all industries that are producing different things that will all go together to make a car. Obviously, you've got glass for the windscreen, textile for the interior, plastics for various pieces, both interior and exterior. Obviously, you've got electrical parts in cars and so forth. So I do want to try and get all of these, and then vehicle bodies come from metal fabrication plants. And even just looking through this, so you click into the metal fabrication plant. In order to get vehicle bodies from there, you need to supply the fabrication plant with steel, aluminium and zinc. To get zinc, as an example, you need to supply zinc ore and scrap metal from any of these industries into the zinc smelter. Aluminium comes from an aluminium plant, but in order to get aluminium out of that, you need to get bauxite, acid and scrap metal into this aluminium plant from any of these industries, which again, not all of them are primary industries. So as an example, acid from a chemical plant also has its own chain back as well. So I'm sure by now you're starting to see the scale of the problem. And then even looking at some of these, glass, glassworks, getting parts out of a glassworks. You need sand, soda ash, quicklime. So soda ash comes from soda ash mine, that's a primary industry. Sand you get from a quarry, that's also a primary industry. But quicklime from a lime kiln is not a primary and has its own chain, again, going back. And what I wanted to do is to show you a spreadsheet that I've plotted out here, and basically you have headings for cargo and industry, and as you go from left to right it tells you what the chain is for that particular cargo type. So vehicles from the assembly plant. In order to get that, you need parts and vehicle bodies, as we've just seen. And then this, and I won't go through this in any sort of detail, but really does just to highlight how complicated this chain is to get vehicles, and that is the whole chain that we need to achieve. And in total, I've calculated that to get vehicles, in total you'll need to transport 27 different cargo types from 32 different industry types, following everything through, and like I was saying, making sure parts from all those industries that supply parts are coming in. However, there are some good things to highlight. Any of these that you see in red are used, either the cargo or the industry are used multiple times throughout the chain, perhaps in different industries. And the ones in green, petrochemicals and petroleum fuels, obviously we already have those from our oil refinery that we set up in the original cargo chain. And what I've also done on this spreadsheet is to highlight in bold any of the industries, which are all primary industries, which can be boosted using engineering supplies. And as you see, there's quite a lot of those as well, which I think we're going to need. I'm going to now link this back to the game. So back down at Fontberg, one of the reasons I wanted a huge excess of engineering supplies is that I knew that in the future, when we started to expand out again with cargo chains, that would come in very useful, and hopefully that will prove to be the case. And just wanted to show you the map as well. These are all the industries I've sort of highlighted, all the ones that we're potentially going to be able to use, or we can use, to create this vehicles chain. And as you can see, that really does cover the length and breadth of the map. So just a short video today, guys. Just wanted to, as I say, give you a bit of an insight as to what I'm looking at next, how complicated that is. This, setting up this industry chain, I mean, this could be 10 episodes, it could be 15 episodes long before we get everything all set up and in place. But again, going back to the cargo payment rates, as we were talking about last time, there's not very much else out there that pays as well as vehicles. So it's definitely something worth pursuing, and hopefully really goes to highlight how in-depth and complex this XIS industry set can be. That's it for today, guys. thanks for joining me. Next time round, we'll be cracking on with getting our vehicles produced, starting off with some of those more basic primary industries and starting to connect up some of those chains. So I hope you can join me then. But until then, this is Tommy P, signing off.